Hello again. I'm here to do another book tag. Caterine Benson tagged me in her original Evanescence Book Tag based on the band. So let's just start getting into the questions. First question, based on the song Imperfection. A book with a couple of flaws in the plot. I picked A Stranger in the House by Shari LaPena. I did enjoy this book somewhat, but after thinking about it, there are a bunch of plot holes in it. But most psychological thrillers with the twists and turns, you could probably pull a little bit of logic from it. But that was the one book I could think of as a book that had some plot holes in it. Next question is Sweet Sacrifice, an author or authors overhyped for your taste. For me, I'm going to pick Becky Albertalli. I heard so much about this book. I still hear so many people raving about this book, and honestly, it to me was just a very average book. I just wasn't really that into it. For me, it's definitely an overhyped author. After reading this book, I don't have any desire to pick up any of her other books. Next question, My Heart is Broken, a book that broke your heart or is very relatable to you. For this one, this book is definitely not relatable to me at all, and it's not really like a tearjerker, but it made me angry and it made me sad that not a lot of people are aware of this and that nothing's really being done about it, and especially what's going on with the current political climate. It's actually probably going to get worse than better, and this is the nonfiction book, The New Jim Crow, finding out about how the drug laws have affected people, especially people of color, the way systematically we are literally creating a second-class citizen with the drug laws and mostly affecting African Americans is really heartbreaking to me. It's really sad, and any chance I get to actually talk about this book, I really want to, because it is so important for people to know about it. You know, if you're going to read one nonfiction book, I would highly recommend this book. I think it's a very important book, a book that everybody should read. That is The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander. Next question, What You Want, a book with a bad boy in it. Now, when people think bad boy, they're usually thinking about, you know, some kind of romance interest with a character. I mean, there are a lot of kind of bad boys in YA, but I decided to go a little different with this question, and I decided instead of going a bad boy, I would go an evil boy. So I picked the book Hellhound, which is about this dog. There is a character here, the owner of this dog, or a chunk of this book, called Carl, which is a young boy who is pretty much pure evil. It's a great little book. If you get a chance to pick it up, I highly suggest it. Hellhound by Ken Greenhall. Next question, Hello, underrated book or author. This is a recent book I talked about that I haven't heard anybody talk about since, that I really did enjoy. It is a first-time author, and it's a YA novel called Rewind. I did really enjoy this book. If you've watched my wrap-up on my YA, you'll see my thoughts on this book, but it is a really nice sci-fi kind of Minority Report book with a woman who has the power to freeze and rewind time. You know, it builds a whole mythology around all these youngsters who can do this power, and it's really a good book. I really enjoyed it, and I wish more people would be talking about it. That is Rewind by Carol O'Dowdy. Next question, Everybody's Fool, book with a mean girl in it. For that one, the obvious choice is The Merciless. This is a great YA and horror book. I know Adam Caesar has talked about it as well. I've seen it on his channel a couple of times. If you are a horror fan and maybe not even a YA fan, especially if you kind of like a little bit of campiness in your horror, The Merciless is a great book. I mean, people usually compare it to Mean Girls meets The Exorcist. I think Adam Caesar compared it to Mean Girls meets The Girl Next Door. It's a really good book. I actually already read the second book of this that I'll talk about in my wrap-up. I still enjoy the series. In fact, the second book, the first chapter, is just mind-blowing. But this is 4 books now in this series, and I am looking forward to reading the third and fourth. I've already read the first 2. Daniel Vega is an author I really want to start reading more of, but that is The Merciless. Next one is Going Under, a book with an abusive relationship in it. For that one, I'm going to pick a book I haven't read in a long time. I actually haven't even seen the miniseries on Netflix. Stephen King's Gerald's Game. The woman does have an abusive relationship in her past. I believe abuse is a big part of this book, and that's going to be my choice for an abusive relationship. And the last question, Lithium, an addictive book that you've read more than once. For that one, I'm going to pick a book I just reread, which is Stephen King's The Stand. This is a great book. Read it twice now. I actually might read it again in the future because I did really enjoy it. A great book. great, huge, epic Stephen King book. Basically, my favorite Stephen King book so far. That is Stephen King's The Stand. And those are all the questions for this tag. Thanks again to Caterine Benson for tagging me. And thanks again to all of you for watching. I hope to see you soon. Bye.